So anyway, to get back to J.D. Vance, I just can't believe when I wish that the corporate media pundits would point it out that J.D. Vance is terrorizing his own people, right? Remember how we went into Iraq supposedly because Saddam was gassing his own people? Yeah, well, that's what conservatives do, I guess. They go after their own people. So he, this pet eating bullshit, we have it on tape. He went on CNN and said, if I have to make it up, what did he say? If I have to make up a story to get the media to pay attention, that's what I'm gonna do? Wait, hold on.
Media totally ignored this stuff until Donald Trump and I started talking about cat memes. If I have to, create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do, Dana, because you guys are completely letting Kamala Harris coast. Media totally ignored this.
Hold on, guys. If I have to create a story to, what does he say?
Stuff until Donald Trump and I started talking about cat memes.
If I have
to create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then
what fucking suffering? That's what baffled me when, she's sitting there. What suffering? The suffering of the American people. What suffering is he talking about except for the suffering that he and his disgusting con man standard bearer are inflicting on Springfield and the world? The consequences: bomb threats, multiple schools, hospitals, public buildings in Springfield have received bomb threats, leading to evacuations and closures. There were events that were canceled. City's annual Culture Fest was canceled. That's J.D. Vance. That's what Republicans do. Whatever they touch, they destroy. Educational disruptions. The local universities and colleges have had to go to remote learning because of these pricks. These are the ones that are talking about how, everybody has to go back to school. But unless these fuckers are inciting terrorism against the schools, I guess, right? Just the fear, put the fear in the community. The Haitian, the immigrants themselves, of course, a target on their back. The safety of their families, their children. That doesn't matter. That doesn't bother them because they have darker pigment, you see. And that's not real America, according to Republicans. That's it. Just like I was saying on this app, on the Citizen app, people writing about the fucker who hit the 81-year-old woman. Deport him now. Just long ass, just repeating. You know how they do it when they come on here? They'll be like, Trump 2024. They have a stutter that only the only thing that they could say is Trump 2024. They're just dumb. It's just dumbness. But that's all they write. Deport. That's all they got. What do you think is going to happen if these fuckers get in office? Mass deportation now? That is the sickest chant I could ever hope to not hear. I wish I never had to hear that at a political rally. That a political rally, that I'm not watching clips from Nazi Germany, right? A political party, so-called, has a goddamn convention with a con man standard where they nominate the con man to be their standard bearer officially because he beat them into submission because they're cowards and dirtbags. And the chant the chant that really caught on, that they actually printed signs for so they can all hold it up signs that read mass deportation now. I mean, and they think that's normal? That is the sickest fucking thing. One of the sickest thing. I don't even want to speculate how low they can go. Yeah, they keep surprising me. Every time I think they hit bottom, the trapdoor opens and they go plummeting down further. With like this J.D. Vance fucker. If I have to create stories to get the American media to focus on the suffering of the American people, what suffering is he referring to? Except the suffering that they're making up. What's fucking suffering? Of course, we're not supposed to know that, I guess. I don't know. This is the corporate media. They never push back. They never say, what are you talking? What's suffering? Oh, they'll say the border, the illegals coming in. Even though border crossings are at a low, and if they were that concerned, Trader Trump wouldn't have stood in the way of the bill that would give more resources to the border. Oh, they don't need a bill. That's the excuse. I don't need a bill. Then why are you fucking bothering? Then go through the motions. Why are you standing in the way if it's not needed? Well, because Democrats aren't dictators. And we understand civics and how government works. The president is not a king. You don't need a bill. I didn't need a bill. Well, why didn't you do it then, Trader Trump? Why didn't you? I hate them. I really do. Legally and peacefully. But I hate them. I hate the dumbasses who vote for them more. They should be ashamed. And like the woman who started the whole cat thing, the eating cat bullshit, who lives next door to some Haitian immigrants, and her cat was missing, so she went over and accused them of eating it. Now that's normal, right? That's real normal. That's how normal neighbors behave. That's why, I would much rather live next to an immigrant than a Trumpanzee. That's for sure. Because where's she getting this bullshit? Now, this poor old woman who's missing her cat, and all of a sudden she's triggered that that her neighbors have eaten it. And she goes over to them to yell at them and knock on their door. And then, of course, she finds out that the cat was hiding in her basement. And they're all giving her credit for going back over and saying, oh, well, I'm sorry that I accused you of eating my cat. Now, we know that how good could that be for neighborly relations in general? But that's what Trumpanzees do to a neighborhood. All you got to do is add one Trumpanzee to a decent neighborhood, and the whole goddamn neighborhood goes downhill. That's for sure. Property values plummet. Those stupid flags, those made in China flags, go flying all over the place. I mean, it's a disgrace. It's pathetic. But I don't know. I don't get it. Really, what they see. But you know what it is? It's the hate. The hate and the cruelty is the point. But don't ever go after them. They're the biggest snowflakes going. This is why I can't stand them. Because it's just like, the you better believe, the Chips and Science Act, the Infrastructure Bill. A lot of these Trumpanzees have jobs now because manufacturing has returned to the country thanks to Joe Biden and the Infrastructure Bill. And the finally passing chips are being made in the country for the first time in forever. All the things that Trader Trump promised but never delivered. All right. And you better believe that there are Trumpanzees working, some of them working in these factories who have a job that will vote for this con man. Why? Because really it's the cruelty, the racism. They're afraid. Now you got to feel bad for them, but if they, I would feel more pity for them if they weren't so tedious and dangerous, if they weren't so horrible.